welcome to another episode of Non-Fungible Guys. I'm one of your hosts, NFG Ryan. As always, my bro host, Devon C. Codrington. Are you going with the C today?
Sure.
All right, Devon C. Codrington is with me. If you're new to NFGs, which I guess, well, every week we'll have a couple of new listeners. Well, that's the hope, right, Devon?
Yeah. It's definitely true.
Yeah, we are a Web3 podcast. We love chatting about crypto, NFTs, the spaces, blockchains, everything in between. We kind of go off on tangents every now and then, but more or less, this is the place for, I don't know, what do you say, news, reports, and everything that we want to get into.
And some good old-fashioned laughter.
Yes, definitely laughter.
That was lame. Oh my gosh.
That's okay. You're not 100% today.
This is true. It's been a rough couple of weeks for NFGs, for the old NFGs.
Well, not rough for me. I mean, I'm on vacation mode, so it couldn't get any better for me.
You're actually fine. Should we address what happened? Like, you were vacationing. Where'd you go? Disney World or something?
I was down in Florida with the family. Went to Disney World, and that's why there was no episode last week. So my apologies, everyone.
I know it's not just that. There was a unfortunate situation in my family that left me busy and unable to record an episode. Plus, I was sick, and I am still sick.
So I went on a pleasure vacation.
Yeah, it's been terrible over here.
It's been down and dirty for you, eh?
Yeah, that's okay.
Sorry, my man.
That's okay. That's how it goes.
I was hoping to bring some sunshine back with me, but
your face is the sunshine.
Yeah, you can't even say that with a straight face.
I know. I tried. I was like, this is gonna be a nice thing to say. Say it. It's true. But
So yeah, you know what? A lot of people don't like driving down to Florida from Toronto, and I can concur. It sucks, but I did it. I think it took us 20 hours and 30 minutes to get down there. And then coming home, we spent a night somewhere in Savannah or near Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was all right.
I drove down around there before. I was like, I want to go to Savannah.
So,
random.
I just got a DM from our buddy Showtime.
That's hilarious. I just did too. Turn my phone.
Right. I guess it's on our podcast Twitter. Yeah. So I should put my phone down. But anyways, Showtime, what up, buddy? So then I guess we haven't really been getting up to much in the last couple weeks. I mean, I somehow because I've been checking in and out of Discords and stuff like that while I was on vacation. So I ended up winning a couple whitelists still.
Not even surprised.
Yeah, no, I got I wrote the initials down and then I forget exactly what they stand for. It's so stupid. But it's Goofy Gophers Mining Club. Remember they had minted, I think their goal is to have 7,888 gophers, but I think they only released 1,000. So this is their mint to release the rest of them. But they have I won it and then I haven't deep dived into it, but it's like they're doing they actually mine. They have like miners that they're getting rewarded in like Litecoin, Bitcoin, stuff like that. So and then they pass.
So they're
passing those rewards on to holders and allocating the funds in different spots and stuff.
Oh, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. I love the name,
Goofy Gopher Mining Club.
Actually, I don't know why I'm trying to do that. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know why you're trying to do that either, because I could see that you were lying. If you don't like space otters, then there's no other animal name that you should.
Good point.
Because you're a lover of space.
Yeah, and I do like otters, actually.
Yeah, for some reason the two combined you just don't like. It's like
no.
I don't know, ketchup and mayo on something.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, but that the concept sounds cool.
Yeah, actually
mining, although like mining is intense and it has to be done well and consistently. So
yeah, I haven't. I briefly read their whatever they call their white paper. I know they have what did they call their white paper? Mine paper. I read it a bit, but I didn't. Most things, I'll listen to it or I'll read it, and then within a day or so, it's out my brain, and just random knowledge stays in there for some reason. This just happens to be one of the random things that did not stay in. What else did I win? I win. Here's another one for you. Platypus Cyberpunks was the one with the real estate.
Oh yeah,
I won that whitelist through F35ers live stream. And then Stag Alliance. And shout out to Bo for hooking me up with Pixel Robots whitelist. So what else did I get up to? I think that's it for that. You have any shout out? Actually, you know what? Let me just do my shout. I want to shout out Adrian from Germany. He's in a couple group chats and he's from the Chive Discord. I'd met him in California and I told him, I think like 2-3 weeks ago, I was going to give him a shout out. And he messaged me the other day. He's like, hey, FYI, no shout out. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, my bad. So here it is, Adrian. There's your shout out. And then we from NFGs are giving a big shout out to Tommy TOMMY from F35ers. He got married last weekend, and I think he's out in Hawaii right now, living the dream on his honeymoon. So shout out to him. Congrats to both of you. On to a happy life.
Happier, yeah. Awesome.
Yes, happier. Correct.
Cool. He's out there with the CEO from Silicon Valley Bank.
Yeah, you jumping right into it. Eh?
I know. I'm just
hiding out in. What are they hiding in Hawaii?
He went out there, I think, to like chill, I guess. I don't know, clear his head, like what Kanye did when Kim broke up with him and he was all sad.
Is that where he went? Hawaii?
Yeah, and people were mad about it because I think he went to Hawaii and spent like $5 million in like a week and a half or something. And everyone was like, why are you sad? And like it was this big debate. And I think people were like, relative to him, that's just normal spending. So like he can still be sad. And people were like, you shouldn't be sad if you can spend $5 million on a whim in Hawaii. I don't know. We're already off the rails, everybody.
But money, they say money can't buy happiness. So.
No, it cannot.
Clearly Kanye went through it.
Yeah. Anyways, right. I don't have any shout outs.
He should have taken that $5 million and just, got some mental health.
Yeah.
I'd like, you know what? Everyone calls him crazy. I should be more fair. Maybe he doesn't have mental health problems, but I remember listening to him on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah.
And I was like, it actually shocked me because I was like, oh, wow. It just seems like his brain goes a fucking mile a minute and he's all over the place when he's talking, but like he makes sense. Obviously, the latest shit he's been talking to a tennis racket or a badminton racket on Alex Jones' show. That's probably a little off the rails, but I don't know.
I think you can look at it as like, part of me thinks to myself, he might say something that isn't as brand new or radical as you think, but he doesn't package it in any good way. And he'll just be like, he can actually probably have references to back up some of the shit he's saying, but he just says like, he says it in the most crazy way. And like on some level, you kind of have to be like, wow, the cojones on this guy to like say anything. But then you're like, what's the point? Because don't you want people to take you seriously?
Yeah.
And if they do, then you might as well like present something to them in a way that it can be possible for people to do that. And the way he presents things, it's just impossible for people to take him seriously on a whole because of how he approaches it. And I don't know.
Right.
I still listen to his music a lot because, I don't think me not listening to Kanye is going to do something in the world for Kanye or for
that
Kanye
half
level.
a penny for the stream machine.
Right? Like when people were like burning the shoes and all this stuff, it's like, okay, so like the protest is there and it lasts online. I get it, but you just have to now buy new shoes.
When's Kanye getting on the blockchain?
He's probably already there. You know what? No, because he hates it, right? But then he's gonna, anyways, whatever.
So what I'm taking from this is Devon shout outs to Kanye.
Fair. Yeah.
Right.
Shout out Kanye West.
All
legit.
Right.
I'm by it. Yeah. I love you. Just get help. All right. Nice.
So where you want to go? Do you want to get to your stuff or because it's a long one and then we can kind of take a break, or we could just kind of get into we don't really have a theme for the episode this week other than like, let's just kind of talk about what's going on in the space.
Right.
I could talk about a couple.
Yeah, I'd say, you know what? Who knows what I have the stamina for? So, why don't we talk about SVB? And it's funny that you put a link to BitBoy because
that's in your notes.
Well, I didn't. It's not in my notes, but I saw it and I was just like, what an idiot.
Yeah. Well, his
Yeah,
BitBoy's thing is he was named in a lawsuit for anyone that was. They said YouTubers and influencers are in this. I guess was a class action
yeah,
lawsuit for like $1 billion, saying that they promoted FTX.
yeah.
So I don't follow BitBoy. Maybe I should. I don't know,
I
but
don't think so. Seems like a ridiculous person.
yeah, I've
I don't
never.
know. Like a lot of people will buy him. It's just not my. It's just it's not about whether like the message is good or not. It's just not my style. So
Right.
that's all it is. Yeah.
I remember. Well, we talked about him not too long ago on a
Yeah,
couple
we
of
did.
because he didn't he go to like Barbados or something looking
Cayman Islands
for.
or whatever,
Yeah, and he
or
was looking.
Bahamas or something. Yeah.
Was that because he wanted to get his money because he knew he was going to get sued? Do you think? He's looking for a
Wow.
loan. I helped you, help me. No, but it said okay. So the lawsuit seeks over $1 billion in damages and is brought against the content creators that reach millions online, including BitBoy Crypto. I guess his real name is Ben Armstrong, and finance YouTube creator Graham Stephan,
Stefan. Yeah.
among 7 other individuals, and the talent management firm Creators Agency.
Huh.
Creators Agency.
Interesting.
Not a bad name.
Graham Stefan. Yeah. Oh, that guy's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What? Yeah.
I feel like this is kind of just as silly as the lawsuit for the dude that's suing Buffalo Wild Wings, saying they're not boneless wings, but they're in fact just chicken nuggets.
What?
You haven't heard of that one?
No. And
Yeah,
why are they the ones that get that lawsuit?
I guess because they're one of the more popular brands that do the, I don't know, boneless bites, boneless wings. Which in
Wow.
reality, everyone's always made the joke they're adult chicken nuggets. It's just some random guy in the U.S. as usual suing the company.
Power to him.
Yeah,
Do what you gotta do.
but
He'll probably win. They'll have to change. They'll have to have like a
there's
disclaimer
no
on
way.
everything, where it just is not actual chicken wings, more like
Dude, you should read the whole thing. It was like he thought he was getting a deboned wing, but in fact, it was like chicken.
Yeah, that's how they have to present it. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I should while we're talking, I'll just you can go on to the next thing, but let me pull up Buffalo
Okay.
Wild Wings like tweet response to it. Dude, it was funny. It was like oh man, it was like there's no air in an air fryer. It was like just
That's
yeah,
so
it was
good.
some dumb shit like that.
That's pretty funny. There's no air in an air fryer.
It wasn't that.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't.
Buffalo
Air fryers
Wild.
don't actually use oil. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's
Yeah.
so cool. But is it so? Okay, okay. That's awesome.
Oh, it's true. Our boneless wings are all white meat chicken. Our hamburgers contain no ham. Our buffalo wings are 0% buffalo.
So good.
That was the tweet apparently in response to this lawsuit.
Oh wow.
But
I
really,
love
like
when
that's
stuff
true,
like
right? Like you're gonna sue
Yeah, yeah.
Wild Wings
Yeah.
because it's like, hey, there's no ham in your hamburger.
That's pretty great.
That's funny.
0% buffalo.
So anyway,
Beautiful.
yeah, there's our tangent. We go off.
Yo, this podcast is off the rails. Okay. Okay, so what do you know about the Silicon Valley Bank stuff?
I didn't even know. It's kind of funny how everything gets initials. What's the word? It's not like there's FTX, SFB,
Yeah.
like there's always just
An acronym. It's just
acronym.
acronyms.
There
Yeah.
we go. See, stay in school. But
Okay. Geez.
Silicon Valley Bank, I thought it was like a made up thing from a TV show. I didn't like. I had no idea it was real.
You're thinking of this show,
Silicon Valley. Yeah, no, I know, but I'm just saying, like, it sounds made up to me.
It's true because you're like, it doesn't sound like it's.
No,
I didn't
because
like, I
here
didn't know about-
we have our big like 6 banks.
Yeah.
And then
so-
in the States,
so
I guess it's like you got your little, well, not little, obviously, but
Well, no, they do have it's much easier to get a bank charter in this. Like you can get a bank charter if you're big enough, you got enough money, you got the connections, you can get a bank charter, which makes you a bank, and then you can operate as a bank, collecting people's monies and doing what you got to do with them. Which
Fair
is
enough.
why you'll have regional, local banks, like the way we'll have credit unions that are like dotting. It's
Mhm.
like in the States, that's a bank, and every city has every region, county or whatever has their own, which is nuts.
yeah.
Their banking regulations are super duper loose. Ours are really tight up here, which is why we're always kind of just like looking to the south, being like, cool.
You guys do the wrong stuff, we'll try and fix it.
Right, like,
Before,
but I didn't even know about this bank though, and there's no reason we would, because
no,
like,
it's so far away from our
yeah.
like our eyes, whatever. But so what is SVB?
Silicon Valley Bank, they're a bank. They
Hey, Devon, talk to me like I have no idea. Let's hit the new users, the new
okay.
listeners. They don't even know what crypto is. Let's
Okay, well, all right, well, I guess the thing is, because first of all, when we've covered other things before, so the thing I think about, the reason we're talking about this is because we're going to talk about USDC,
yeah,
which is a stable coin being depegged. And like USDC is, as you know, it's backed by the United States dollar.
right.
And like it's a cryptocurrency that's stable. So people complain, they're like, you put $1,000 into Bitcoin, then Bitcoin goes up, it goes down. You never really know what's happening. And like it's too volatile. So USDC is a cryptocurrency they created that is like, we are going to match this to the United States dollar. And whatever the United States dollar is, that's what's going to be the value of this. So this is essentially a safe place to put your money within crypto. It's also makes something that people can use to like transfer things around,
Right.
because they know it's not going to lose its value if anything crazy happens in the market.
Well,
So,
I remember even stuff like NBA Top Shots or
yeah,
I think Vivi was offering like if you want to take your money out
yeah,
when at the initial phases of it was USDC or USDT tether. Because like you just said, it's stable, it's not
yeah.
going to fluctuate, you're not going to. But anyways, go ahead.
No, and what's the one that I always used to mess at USD, because like I used to say USDT versus USDC all the time. I used to mess them up. But we know,
Well, there's the one and the same basically.
well, we know what happened with well, either way, what I was going to say is that the thing that makes it like work is because the company that's created USDC has to have that actual amount of money in. It's like the gold standard where they're like, the currency that's in the United States is actually backed by a ton of gold that's like stored up in Fort Knox. And that's what it was until the gold standard was no longer a thing because money was way too much. But for USDC, they've got to actually have that amount of fiat currency to back up their cryptocurrency. And if there's any belief that there's not enough real money to back up the value of the cryptocurrency, which is USDC, then technically USDC is no longer worth $1,
right?
A US dollar.
Yes.
And when that becomes the case, you would say that the cryptocurrency USDC has been depegged. It's now no longer pegged to the dollar. So I guess that's the foreshadowing, because Circle, the company that did USDC, had a bunch of its money with SVB, Silicon Valley Bank.
So their actual US dollar they stored in how many banks?
A bunch of them. That's a great question though, because a lot of people are like, you're screwed. But no, they weren't just like going to keep it all.
They did diversify their holdings.
Yeah, exactly.
Their storage.
No, you're right. No,
holdings?
You're right. Holdings. Yeah. So they had Silicon Valley Bank, they had Signature Bank, and they had Silvergate Bank. And then they had a bunch of the other banks that were more traditional and more bigger, like I don't know, I forget what it's called, Mellon Bank or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they had
it was a large holding in SVB,
about 8%.
Oh,
which you're like, oh, it's not so bad.
Yeah, but it's
because
probably...
it's 8%. I don't remember exactly, but 8% equaled like something billion, right?
Yeah.
But it also means that 8% is different from like 60%. So it's like they can now do some things to like get things rolling to make it so that maybe they move things around, they do a bunch of things so that they can get repegged. And all this stuff did happen. But before we talk about this, let's go backwards and find out what Silicon Valley Bank did and what happened to them.
Sounds good. Also, I'm not going to keep a straight face about this.
I know. You're so stupid.
I'm just, listen, it's low hanging fruit. I'm a child. And I'm going to make a joke about pegging.
I've talked to 3 people about this today, and that joke was made 66, 2 out of the 3 people.
Yeah. Who's that third?
Okay, let's just get back
to sophisticated.
I know, right? Okay, so basically all the stuff that happened with venture capitalism in the, I guess, I don't know, I'd say 2021, 2022, basically venture capitalists being like, you got to start up. IPOs, like just all that venture capital activity, which, I am in the entrepreneurial world, so I'm aware of that. But like, if you're not in that, I'm not really sure if you would know. But like, you hear about startups raising capital all the time.
All the time.
Now, a
You
lot of
definitely-
that is being done through Silicon Valley Bank and banks like Signature Bank and like Silvergate. So
Okay.
basically, it meant that all this venture capital money was flowing into this bank. So they had like 61 billion in deposits one year, and the next year they had like 189 billion. Like,
Wow.
that's a crazy difference.
How is there poverty? But anyways, go ahead. 189 billion. Okay.
I know, right? And the whole thing for banks is that they have to make money. So
Right. So they're earning
so it's
off
like,
that.
how do we make money off this? And they got so much money so fast that they didn't have a plan to use all that money to make money.
No
So
problem.
they bought mortgage-backed securities. If you know anything about finances at a very small level, think about the financial crisis from way back.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, all of that.
Was-
Yeah, it was 08. Yeah, all of that was based on like banks just reselling debt that was repackaged, but it was like rotten at the core. And all of that was they gave people mortgages that there were no way able to afford a house.
Yeah, it was like someone who would work part-time at Burger King.
Yeah,
It's like,
and
you
they're
get
like,
a house.
here's
Approved.
a $250,000 mortgage. So they get a house, cool. But like, and then they take that debt and they're like, this is high risk debt. They like package it up and sell it to another bank until it's just being resold and made money on it, until they get to the point where people are like, hey, I can't afford it. So they default on their loan, and that just cascades forward till all the banks that have like repackaged this up and resold it, saying it's like squeaky clean debt. It's not. So it's a security, which we know about that word,
Yeah.
but it's backed by mortgages. So of course they're still doing these things. So it's the same mechanism from before. So they bought mortgage-backed securities. They're like, we're gonna buy a bunch of these, and we'll make money off of it, and we don't have any risk in place. Whatever. Okay. So these securities are like volatile and they're shitty, because here's the thing. We know what's happened. We've heard me talk about it before, where I'm like, actually, I don't know if I've talked about it on air, about like, I'm buying a house. Oh, wait, I'm not buying a house. Oh, I'm buying a house. Oh, wait, I'm not buying a house. And interest rates affect that big time.
Yes.
And what happened in the fall? It happened for us, but it also happened down there. The feds hiked up the interest rates like big time. So people couldn't afford their mortgages.
Yep.
Exact same situation. So now these mortgage-backed securities, these bonds or whatever you want to call them, they're worth so much less that now your 189 billion isn't like, so all the mortgage-backed securities you bought on it to like make money from it, they're not worth what they used to be.
No, you're losing money now.
Now you're losing money, right? So as those values declines, right? Not a big deal, because it's not like realized gains. Like, it's like you're making money on the money you have. So like, you don't have to actually like realize those unless the people that have paid the deposits want their money back. So, okay, not the worst thing, but like, unless you have to pay things back, there's always things that banks can do to make money. I think the real problem happened when like the regulator, the ratings regulator, which is like Moody's, like for us, we have like, it's not, they have different rating regulators for banks and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
We have it for like Equifax and TransUnion and whatnot, but like, that's your credit rating. So the bank's credit rating was like under threat. So they're like, hey, by the way, we noticed that all your mortgage-backed securities have fell. We just want to let you know you're under warning. We're probably going to lower your rating as a bank, so you're less trustworthy now. Wow. And there's people that got real money. So when something like that happens, there's going to be tip-offs, like no matter what, right? So that kind of had like a little bit of a thing where people were kind of like, okay, we're sort of aware. But Silicon Valley Bank was like, don't worry, we got a plan. We are going to take some of these securities, we're going to sell them, which is honestly the same thing as what they were doing for the financial crisis. We're going to package them up and sell them to another company. And then we're going to take take the money from the sale and reinvest it in higher yielding, quicker realizing banking vehicles, financial vehicles. And the people that they call to help them do this is Goldman Sachs.
Oh my God.
The same banks that like had to get the bailout, the same fucking banks that had to go through this. So they call Goldman Sachs. They're like, hey, we need to sell our shitty mortgage-backed securities because they're losing value. And they're like, don't worry, we got someone that'll sell it. And everything's set up to be perfect, but it takes time for the paperwork to go through.
You know what that reminds me of? They're like not calling up Goldman Sachs, and it's like that that meme where the guy's got the noose around his neck, and he's like, first time.
Yeah.
It's like, losers.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's 100% it.
That's funny. Okay. So
they call that, they get it sold. They're about to like finalize that. And they're like, cool. And then they're like, by the way, after we sell these things and we make some money, we'll sell a bunch of shares in the bank, and that's going to create some money for us. We'll be good. And Moody's is like, okay, sounds good. We're only going to lower your rating by like 1 point. But the minute the public finds out that they're going to do a share sale, and that Moody's has lowered them by 1 point,
yeah,
once you start a bank run, there's nothing that can stop it.
Mm.
So some people are just like, wait, what? Lower ratings, share sale? I don't like the sound of this. Pull your money out. And I've been watching a whole bunch of different things on this, and there's a couple companies like that, like this woman from the CEO from Ruth Health. She was talking about getting a call from one of their venture capitalists that was just like she said the guy was like out of breath. He was like freaking out. He was like, pull your money out now. And they ended up pulling their money out, only leaving about $250,000, because that's the amount that can be insured. Also, they can only, the FDIC is only insuring like $250,000 for each account. But you got to think, like, let's say you're a startup, right? So let's say right now I want to go apply to a startup, and I'm like a brand new product manager. I'm not going to accept anything less than like 115, 120. And that's like lower end of product management. So imagine like you need to make payroll for a whole bunch of employees that are getting those kind of salaries and up. Yeah. Even if your startup is lean, plus you got operating costs, plus your startup's probably based in AI, and like these operating budgets for startups are extreme. You know what I mean? So like $250,000, that's operations for like a week, or they'll collapse. Either way, a bank run started, and the stock lost like 61% in like a day. And then I think, what was the day last week? It was like Friday or whatever it was.
March.
Thursday?
Yeah, what did I hear? March 10th, March 8th, March 9th. 10th. It was the tail end of, I remember hearing, because again, I was on vacation, so I was untethered, so to say.
Nice.
From online.
They went and closed the doors on the 10th, but basically the 9th and 10th, the bank run was in full effect. And the Moody's call, and all this stuff had happened like early in the week, like not that much. It was like the 8th when they were like, okay, we have a plan. We're going to deal with this stuff. It's going to be fine. Yeah. And then 2 days later, $42 billion had been withdrawn from that bank. In one day. In one day,
42 billion.
In one day, $42 billion was taken out.
Here's all the naysayers of crypto and NFTs.
Go ahead. I love it.
This is what I want to say to you fuckers. I mean, people.
Take it easy.
No, but everyone shits on crypto, blockchain, and all that stuff, right? 42 billion withdrawn.
Yeah.
Was that a bunch of trucks backing up and pulling out physical cash?
Not at all.
Oh, but what's crypto? Is you know what I mean? Like that's 42 billion of just a bunch of numbers and button pushing on a computer. Yeah. There's no physical money moving, and this is why I get mad with people like, oh, money's backed by gold. Money, like real money is real money, and crypto's stupid. Well, at this point, we're living in a digital world where it's all numbers, ones and zeros on a computer.
Yeah. And
this goes to prove it.
As you're seeing here, all that money, like a lot of that money, in addition to their deposits that they were going to make money on those new deposits, that was going to be backed on the confidence people had in those mortgage-backed securities.
Right.
So like basically when people lose confidence in them, and why would they lose confidence? Because the interest rate goes up and they know people can't afford them. So now I'm going to be like, I'm less bullish on those mortgage-backed securities.
100%.
That debt
they're going to default.
People are going to default, and like you're not going to be able to make money off of that. It's the exact, so they lost confidence in it, and the value of it goes down, and now the supposed money you have can now be in the negative from outside of those deposits because of how, but they had nothing hedged against their interest. Like they had nothing, they had no checks in place. You know, even when we're in the exchanges and you want to do like calls and puts and like do some options tradings.
Yeah.
Like I can't even do that without the app like notifying me like 5 times, being like, do you know what you're doing? Yeah. Are you sure you're going to do this?
Yeah.
This will allow, if you do this, you could put yourself in a backwards position. You could be upside down in your deposit. There's so many like warnings about like being responsible with your monies, and that with you're playing with options, you're like hedging a bet against what you expect to happen for this particular asset. And I mean, a lot of this is Canadian financial banking laws because ours are more specific and we put a lot more emphasis on protecting the user. Like,
yes.
Remember that whole Robinhood thing where that guy killed himself because he owed.
Robinhood took GMC or AMC or something.
Yeah, but this guy had like an options. He had a bet against it or whatever. He had a position against it.
Yeah,
and he was down about $90,000 or something, or maybe it was 190,000 or something.
Yeah,
and he killed himself. But if he'd known, like, he could have just waited till the end of the weekend, and like the currency would have stabilized because options is a position against what you're against a prediction. You know what I mean? So it's like if it doesn't happen, like your option runs out, like it's not going to happen. So either way, he killed himself, and it was like if he had known that he could have just waited, it would have happened. So either way, all I'm trying to say is that the bank moved too quickly because they got all these deposits and they were not even insured against the interest that they had. They were not set up well at all. They had their risk officer was a joke, apparently. Anyways, back to this. I'm probably too detailed into this. The run began, like they had 42 billion withdrawals. And then, of course, this is all like Silicon Valley venture capitalist money. So applications that we're using are probably now like, holy crap, how are we going to pay people? How are we going to operate? So that happens. And one of the startups that are in Silicon Valley Bank that banks with them is Circle. And now we kind of get back to USDC. And of course, USDC is holding only 8%, loses the peg because people are like, I no longer have confidence in USDC because we know that some of the backing has evaporated because of the bank run.
Right.
And so Circle did a whole bunch of stuff. They finally put a statement out on the weekend that was like, we only are 3.3 billion of our 40 billion is exposed to SVB. So we're going to do some things. We're going to fundraise. We're going to use company funds like operating funds to move that to the store of funds. There's reserve funds, and also there's going to be a reserve fund that might be like raised, and they're like, we should be able to get like control this. And then they got repegged on Saturday night, which is probably when the pegging would happen, probably a Friday or a Saturday.
You caught me off guard with that one.
No one said this podcast was safe for work.
Oh my god!
But it was
caught me
Saturday
off
night.
that. Oh, you son of a bitch! I was waiting because I was reading your thing, and I'm like, oh, the peg slipped. The peg slipped,
that.
and I'm like, oh, I'm waiting to say something, and then you caught me. Oh,
anyways, so they repegged Saturday night, which was cool. But it doesn't matter. Like once a bank run like that has happened, there's no way that you're going to sit around and be like, well, everything's fine now. Like 42 billion left the market. So here's the thing. And people like will look at this. It's interesting when you do research on this because you see the angle that it comes from. Like you see Fox News literally said that SVB gave 73 million to Black Lives Matter. Why? Why?
Like recently, or like that was what they were reporting on? They like, oh, we lost 42 billion, but hey, Black Lives Matter, here's 73 million.
No, they were saying that like just I don't even know how they relate it. I didn't watch it. I watched coverage
saw the heading.
Of it. No, I watched coverage of it. People were talking about it, but it was like CNN or something. But like Fox News was just like, yeah. So Silicon Valley Bank gave, I think it was either 73 million or 173 million in support for the Black Lives Matter movement. Yeah. And it's like, first of all, that's wrong. They didn't give any to Black Lives Matter. But like I think somehow Fox is trying to say that the collapse of this bank was also like this bank is bad because they allowed themselves to collapse.
So they started, everyone's just piled on.
So they're just like, look, and this is the kind of bank that gives this much to Black Lives Matter because the Black Lives Matter movement has been met with a lot of like fraudulent claims and whatnot. So they're trying to say that Black Lives Matter misappropriation of funds is somehow tied up into this.
Wow.
Which is like complete, like wrong, not facts at all. And they're like, look, they gave it to Black Lives Matter. And it's like,
and that's a lot of people watch Fox News.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Anyways.
But this is why everyone's like the whole free speech and Elon and Twitter and all the like
free speech with facts. Sure.
Listen,
but that's like completely a lie.
Yeah. And here, what's going to get crazy? Like, I don't even know if we'll have time to talk about it in this episode, but sorry, GPT-4 AI shit.
Yeah.
Dude. we're never going to know what's real anymore. Like we really have like, is this your original thought or did an AI create it for you, or a movie or TV? Like everything
what
is
I
being
want to
done
know,
by this
what
AI.
I was thinking about this today.
Yeah.
We're going to have AI that checks for other AI. And how
So-
are we going to do that?
So there was a Twitter space that Paps had shared with me.
Producer Paps, what up?
Producer Paps, what's going on? He had shared it with me, and they were kind of talking about that kind of the truth. They were using digital knowledge graphs and something about with crypto and blockchain, or at least with blockchain technology, you can get more data, and AI is favorable with knowledge graphs. So it's like you have a digital knowledge asset, which would be, say, an NFT and metadata and all that stuff. And I could be butchering this, so I could tweet out the Twitter space. Sense. But they were talking about how the problem with AI is where's the truth? So they were saying to get more knowledge, you can do digital knowledge graphs. And that's why AI has gone to another level now, because they're using knowledge graphs.
Jeez. Okay.
Something about graphs. They kept using that word graphs in the Twitter space. And I couldn't. Pap said, he's like, it's probably going to hurt your head listening to it. And I was driving home from Florida, like
I saw that message
3 a.m, and I was like, whatever. It was honestly, it was a really cool Twitter space. So I'll tweet it out for the listeners.
I started listening to it, but I wasn't in a place to get through it. But
yeah, it's only an hour long. So it's not like a crazy long space, but they had like they had this guy. Of course, I didn't pull it up because I didn't think we were going to talk about it. But the Twitter space had a guy. He was an older gentleman. He said he was on his like 6th career path of like mechanical engineering with blockchain or something. I don't know. It was crazy what he was on, but they were talking about AI and why it's taken on to the next level is because rather than giving it the internet, because the internet's vast open space. And because that's why AI has been able to take off, because there's no finite information, so to say.
Right. No, good point.
So that's why it's taken because AI has been around multiple times, but now it's starting to stick because of the internet and the vast sea of information. But now the problem is
compounding knowledge.
Right. So now the problem is finding the truth. And they were saying the back end, deep end stuff of software is these knowledge graphs.
Okay, this does make sense though.
Yes.
Also, before crypto, I didn't understand the depth of the word graph. Like Hedera hash graph is like a hash graph, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's a hash graph, no big deal." And like graphs are or stores of information, which that's what they always have been. But we're just thinking basics of like a bar graph. You know?
Bar. Yeah, that's what I always thought.
They're talking about dendritic data graphs that store information like in a spider web or whatever.
Yep. That's exactly what they're talking about. And they can, and the graphs are like the size of like an NFT, but like you can create it. Then you have all these people verify it so that the AI knows what's truthful and what's not.
Because that's the big problem, right? That AI is just grabbing information and it has no score of what's a good source of information.
And this is what they're saying is going to be the change, the next iteration of AIs, where they'll be able to know what's truth. Because if you were to go and change the graph, then it's verifiable on the blockchain. It's like an open source Wikipedia. I'm using the wrong words, but it's like if something is changed, then the whole world can like acknowledge that whether the change is truthful or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And people, so if you look into the blockchain, then people are just validators. Instead of validating the transaction, it's like you're validating the quality of the information. And if it's right, it gets to keep using it. If it's not, it'll be less.
And if people want to look up, I know Paps was saying he was very favorite. It's Origin Trail is what the company. I know, right?
Considering what you were up to.
I know.
Foreshadowing drop ever.
Yeah, I know. Organize AI grade knowledge assets, making them discoverable and verifiable for a sustainable global economy. But they're saying like they've been having big companies use this for data to assets and all this. Like it's pharmaceutical supply chain, enterprise data interoperability. Like it's just, this stuff was crazy that they're talking about.
I like it.
Yeah, so we completely got off of SVB.
That's hilarious.
Sorry about that, but
don't be sorry. I like the.
Yeah,
so
that's
we're almost done anyways.
Yeah, so we could just talk about.
Okay,
so Circle USD slipped the peg out, got it put back in, had a great time. High five.
Got the peg. but then it doesn't, like, once you start a bank run, like, you can't stop it. And even if that, people
have lost the trust. They're not going to put their money back in the bank.
The crazy thing is Silicon Valley Bank hasn't fully collapsed. Like, they still exist. Although Signature Bank, they were seized. They were like stopped. They were just like, hey,
we're not doing no withdrawals.
Yeah, the feds came and they're just like, you guys are done. Like, they just shut them down. They're just like, you guys are smaller. They're kind of like related to Silicon Valley Bank. And like the feds just came and they just closed their doors for them. Yeah. And they're like,
interesting.
Silvergate
the government can just do that, eh?
Yeah, they can do that. Silvergate Bank, which is also, and Circle had money in all three of these plus others.
Yeah.
But Silvergate, they kind of did, I feel like, the most responsible thing in the situation of they basically were like, we're just gonna like wind down everything. So we're just going to give you back all of your deposits and we're just gonna cease to exist after this.
Seriously?
Yeah. They're just
so like, one thing just like crumbled three banks.
Because and I think, and the thing is, people are just like, how far will this go? Because when you're looking at 189 billion in one bank, like, and then people do a bank run on it, those people now are like, where do they put that? Where is that $42 billion right now? It's in other, people either have to now.
Did they have to start buying? You know what? I bet you people started buying crypto.
So here's the two camps. Because you notice Bitcoin surged like 20% this weekend.
Yeah, it went crazy.
Yeah, because people now are sitting there with we're talking withdrawals where people are probably like pulling out like 20 million, 30 million, like all sorts of different like withdrawals are going on here, right? So now you look at it and you're like, okay, I just pulled out all my money from Silicon Valley Bank. I have like 30 million here. What do? Do you put it in another bank, probably a bigger one that's quote unquote too big to fail?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
or do you put some of it in crypto, right? And a lot of people put things in crypto, but a lot of people put things in regular bank too. Not everyone can put things in crypto. But yeah, people didn't know what to do. But a lot of people put things into Bitcoin, and Bitcoin surged, of course. And by a lot, in the grand scheme of the things, as the 42 billion, it was a fraction, but a fraction is enough to make a giant move for that, right?
Right.
And I guess also, like, Signature being forced to shut down is, so the outlook, people were like, this is good for crypto because, it shows people the banking system is totally unstable and totally volatile and at risk of a bank run that easily is controlled by the feds. Because everyone was basically saying banks have been a victim of hyperinflation, and the feds raising the interest rates kind of just like makes all of their securities and all of the bonds that they're holding to make money super volatile and unstable, and like it's basically losing the money,
which is hilarious because that's what everybody says about crypto.
Yeah, and they're like, this is centralization controlling the markets, and you're like, okay, cool. But like at the end of the day, they're not going to do a bailout, but people are going to get their money back, even though it's only insured up to $250,000. I think the feds were just like, this is too big. We're actually going to return. We're going to give people their money back. Silicon Valley Bank still operates. Those other two are shut down. But people are basically like, if this bank was smaller, so they basically look at it and the feds decide which banks live or die. They went to Signature and they're like, we're closing you down. And they're like, Silvergate, shut yourself down. And it's like, there's a cascading effect. So people are basically thinking like there are many other things that will be impacted. And there's not, and the I forget the operating body, but like they were like, we're not doing a bailout. So this is enough to keep contained, and you're just gonna have to go with the bigger bank. The problem is, and this is where it was really cool, because in my research, I forget where a guy from Ernst & Young, EY, was talking about this whole situation, giving a kind of a breakdown on it. And some people talk about it, and they talk about it only from financial markets, and they mention nothing related to crypto. And then you talk to some people and they only talk about crypto and a bit about the financials, when really this is a huge intersect. This 100%. Is not like Terra and Luna or whatever, right?
No.
Like that was all Do Kwon just like messing around. Well, not really, but like it was like algorithmically pegged, like didn't make any sense, right? Game theory. Like this is like financial markets bleeding into the crypto space, like because we have to have that connection to fiat, right? But this guy from EY was like, yeah, I was talking to my friend who's the CEO of this company called Proof of Attendance Protocol or whatever. And I was like,
Proof of attendance. POAP?
I was like, wait, what? And he was like, yeah. So POAP, they're not even a coin. He's like, they're just an application that provides NFTs for your attendance to certain events and different things. And he's like, POAP could not get funding from any sort of traditional venture capitalists, from traditional banks. The only way they were able to operate is because SVB Signature Bank is really, really friendly to crypto startups. So Signature Bank is where POAP did all their stuff. So he's like, now POAP is going around looking for someone that'll bank with them. And like, this is going to be the case for many cryptocurrency based startups as well as regular non-crypto startups. So that it's more than just like, okay, you know, there's a lot of themes here. There's centralization, interest rate hikes doing this. There's like fiat backed USDC. Like, what can we do there? How are we going to have a fiat backed thing? One solution is T-bills, T-notes, which is treasury bonds, treasury notes.
Yeah.
They can do that. But like, I don't know. Banking with the bank is easier. I don't know. I don't know enough about that. But either way, there's a lot of stuff happening here. And there's going to be all these companies that before Monday on the weekend, they were thinking, holy crap, we could have just lost all the value of our startup because all our money was in a bank and the bank collapsed.
Yeah.
But apparently they're going to get their money back.
Dumb question. When you say, you know, Silvergate Bank, Signature Bank, Silicon, we're talking about like one standalone building, right? There's not like multiple chains. Like there are actually for like Silicon Valley Bank, they have a couple different locations. Okay, so it's not just okay.
But like, we also could not be, you know what I mean? Like some of these banks, well, because of how big these banks operate, it's doubtful that they're going to have just like one location. But I'm sure like these banks, when they started, they're starting out of like one building somewhere and then
right. That's what I was thinking. So, like I was thinking of credit unions here. There's like
exactly.
There's like 3 of them across a few spots that I know.
It's probably like the same sort of deal.
Yeah, much smaller, but like still.
Anyways. I think that's one thing we'll never fully get, like how you can have like, so like we have 5 banks here. And then those banks, all they did was made cheaper versions of themselves. And those have created like the next 3 banks.
Well, it's like the cell phone companies. They've done the exact same thing in Canada.
Yeah.
It's 100%. They're all subsidiaries or like sister
of themselves
of the bigger ones. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
But we're all okay with it in Canada. We're just like, oh, I can't afford something with Bell. I'll go with Kudu, which is a subsidiary of TELUS.
Which is they all run on the Bell network.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Bell or Rogers. It's kind of ridiculous.
So weird, but yeah, you're right. You got like
the illusion of
banks.
Choice. We don't have choice here in Canada. We do not have choice.
It's kind of a monopoly. Well, not monopoly because there's more than one company, but it's there's
a word for it, but I don't know what it is right now. But like, there's a word that sounds like monopoly. It's like oligo. I don't know. Whatever. Either way, isn't this crazy? And I guess so. The fact that they're actually going to get their money back is crazy. And I was just thinking about FTX. FTX was completely financial. It didn't bleed. It bled into crypto because of it's a crypto company, but like it was just them being stupid with the money.
Right.
Also, and you know, Sam, he paid Caroline $6 million.
I saw that. I was opened up a Twitter page to look.
Right, yeah.
I saw that she got paid like $6 million and he got paid like 3.3 billion.
First of all, that doesn't make any sense.
Weren't they living in the same house? And then, you know what I mean?
Listen, $6 million, I wouldn't even stand for that. I'd be like, bro, our company's worth billions. You're gonna give me $6 million?
Yeah.
Like you can.
But then again, how long was she working? Was that like 10 months worth of work? Or stealing? Like what?
Wow.
6 mil. You're kind of. I mean, well, she's in prison now, isn't it? What's she doing now?
I have no idea.
No, who cares?
Anyways, thanks for letting me deep dive in that. I kind of get excited about these things. I clearly do, but
I'm impressed. I'll just say this. I see your show notes and then I'm watching as you kind of go through it, but how you translate what you've written down to like word, it's fucking impressive.
Because when you look at what's written down, it doesn't make like, it's like, you get it.
It makes sense, but like the way you showcase it, I guess it's interesting. Well, now what's this picture here? Explain to me like I'm 5. Is that like Chat GP?
So I really think it is. So
I'm pretty sure it is.
I threw this in there because there's some really good Twitter threads on all this stuff. So ChatGPT like explained the summary like in bullet points, and I was like, this is actually pretty good. They didn't finish it off, like, because most of the reporting didn't get to the point where they're like, okay, they're actually gonna get their money back and no bailout, but this is exactly what happened in like 7 points.
Okay, but here's where I get the issue with AI, that the whole truth thing. What happens if they're compiling all their data from our news media? Or are they is it compiling the data from like Twitter? Is it compiling all that data between Reddit, Twitter? Where's it getting its data fed to it from?
It's getting its data fed from a version of the internet that's 2 years old. Do you remember that? Like how it was operating on, they had it closed, like where like now it's open or whatever, but they had it, so it'll take it from anywhere.
So that's what I mean. Like, I guess it just says like, oh, Fox is saying this, but then like 7 others are saying this thing. So they must take the 7 as opposed to the 1. But then what happens if 7 are saying bad, like Trump is bad, but I'm not saying Trump is good, but the 1 is saying Trump is good, but in reality, he is doing good for the states. But 7 news sources are saying bad. You
know what's funny though? You're on something here, because there was one thing I didn't get to research because I didn't have enough time, but it was like, because I started, after I figured out what happened, I was like, what are people saying about this? And if you go SVB donation, like just DO, Black Lives Matter articles come up like crazy, because it basically, there's so many things that say the GOP is blaming like Silicon Valley's failure on Black Lives Matter. And people are saying like, and it's the New York Post is like, Silicon Valley donated 73 million to Black Lives Matter. Like that is the New York Post saying something like completely wrong.
Yeah.
And it's like there on the 15th. That's yesterday. Bro, it's crazy.
But you see what I mean? Like all it takes is one. So then where, like this is the problem with potentially AI. And I guess that's what the real developers, or who would you call them? Because I mean,
the software engineers, I guess,
would have to figure out like, how do you figure out
curators of some sort?
Yeah.
But like, and also like, I know we're supposed to be talking about like other stuff here, but it's just like blows my mind, because there's another article that just says like Silicon Valley donated $0 to Black Lives Matter. Here's why. And it's like, this is false, but it's like, this is like a big deal. Yeah. Anyways.
No, I love it. Thank you. I hope people walk away from this episode, even if you just listen to this last 25, 30 minutes, and come away with a better understanding. Like that's my goal for the podcast usually, is like, can you take what you've listened and learned from us and go carry a conversation on with someone else?
Agreed. Yeah.
Like you maybe not carry the conversation, but you can be involved in a conversation about it and be like, oh yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. And I heard this or whatever, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of what my hope is, but that was
sometimes we hit the mark, sometimes we don't.
No, but that was I mean, we went on our little tangent with chat.
The tangents make it the best. So
the AI, but I know AI is not necessarily blockchain crypto, but it's happening. It will be right now. It is, because where was I the other day? Did you know? I know you're not on Discord that often.
I was on Discord today.
I know you
actually had to turn it off for this episode. I didn't want it going off in the background because there's so much activity there.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate that. Was
awesome. What I was in a Discord I think it was the Project Venkman, and my buddy C Mars, he did a command, a slash command, and it used, you know how everyone's using AI to create generate art. He used it in the Discord. I'm like, we've already gotten to that point where it was a website that you got like, and that on the Discord, I think you get 10 free ones generating right in the chat for everybody to see.
So what did it generate?
Artwork. And it gave them four options of like what the generated artwork was.
So
and
like that Dolly stuff where you like tell it to draw a cat riding
an
octopus?
Yep. Let me see if I can pull it up. I can't obviously show you, but let me see if I can find it. And he's like, oh, sorry, I didn't realize it would show. And then he ended up deleting the command, but someone else did it later on. But like it gave him 4 pictures of like a sunset in the mountains or something, whatever his command was, right?
That's really cool.
But I clicked on one and then it was actually letting me download it, like right in the Discord. I was like, this is crazy considering it used to be just like right. You'd have to go sign up for a website. It was beta, and now it's already.
So I guess like Discord like just paid for that integration and is just like
I guess it's Me 6 or one of those. I guess paid for the or just coded it into the. I can't find it, but coded it into the Discord. I don't know. It was very interesting. So, as of what was it, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, GPT-4 was released by OpenAI. I don't know. We've created GPT-4 because you hear so many different ones. There's DALL-E, there's Chat GPT, there's this, there's that. I don't know what all the different AIs that are out there.
This one's just like the fourth version of it, like that it's supposed to be.
Yeah, so it says we're releasing GPT-4's text input capability via Chat GPT and the API with a waitlist to prepare the image input capability. So basically what they've done is you can now just like take a picture of whatever. Like I saw online, I shared that Twitter thread with you where people are messing with this new version of the AI.
Yeah.
And there is some ridiculous shit going. Like someone took a picture. Here, first one that pops up. Here's how I gave GPT-4 a photo of a refrigerator and asked it to come up with food recipes in under 60 seconds. And it gave him 1, 2, 3, 4. Like it was a picture. There's, let's see, eggs, grapes, blueberries. There's some meats. I think those are pears, milk, whatever. Fruit salad, cheese omelet, ham and cheese sandwich, fruit smoothie. And it tells exactly how to make it.
That's so cool.
It doesn't give like millimeters or pour this much milk, but I mean, combine diced apples, oranges, and bananas in a large bowl. Optionally, you can add a squeeze of lemon juice to prevent browning and a drizzle of honey for extra sweetness. Mix well and sit chill.
That's so cool.
Under 60 seconds.
So like in under a minute, it analyzes the photo and then spat out those 4 recipes.
Are you looking at the Twitter thread?
Yeah,
go to the third one here.
I'm looking at it right now, but like I heard about this on a video I watched today about like how people show at the fridge and say make something, and it's doing that. Some people will probably be like, "Oh, that's because when you look at this photo, right?
Yeah,
it's a good photo. You can see what's in the fridge.
Yeah,
but people are doing it for like all their fridges, and it's just making sense with what it can.
Yeah. Here's another one.
Crazy.
This video was made almost entirely by AI. The guy goes, "I use Chat GPT to write a script. Midjourney, which is another AI, to create reference images, Runaway Gen 1 to apply the style of the images to my source video, and Boomy AI for the music." And he created like a 30-second movie.
Yeah, this is crazy. Midjourney is scary stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really
is. Midjourney the one that like that? What? Oh, did you see? Remember we were talking about? We're going all over the place right now, but that TikTok filter where you can't like the girls. I shared it. Usually you put a hand up to half your face and it turns the AI like filter off. It doesn't do it anymore. And these girls were like all the feed was gorgeous women, and then they take it off and it's like, oh shoot, like they're not bad looking, but it's like
but it was blowing people's minds. Yeah.
Oh, it's like giving them the everything, eyebrows. Anyways,
this stuff is super scary.
Yeah, turn your napkin sketch into a web app instantly within 60 seconds. You just sketch something about you show him on the video. It just takes a picture of like a website that he wants to do for jokes, and the AI creates it. Like we're getting into a crazy world with AI, and it's kind of scary. I'm not scared of it like taking over.
Yeah.
I'm just scared of like, I don't know who's ever going to have an original thought.
So here's the thing. Okay. Like, are you thinking that perhaps like, how are we going to stay above the curve? Because realistically, Chat GPT-4 has been around for like 50 hours.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like that's,
and the shit that people are doing with it are nuts. Like, it's just, it's like this guy took a photo. This one where this guy takes he draws a website on a sheet of paper, takes a photo of it, and then all of a sudden it's spitting out code. You know what's crazy? Like for the basic frames, like that's not. Yeah, it makes sense. Like but it's just the concept that it does it in like 2 seconds. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
holy crap. Like,
Here's one more that's
how are you going to compete with this?
related to crypto. This guy Connor at J Connor Grogan. I dumped a live Ethereum contract into GPT-4. In an instant, it highlighted a number of security vulnerabilities and pointed out surface areas where the contract could be exploited. It then verified a specific way I could exploit the contract. The next thread, this contract was hacked in 2018 via the vulnerabilities that ChatGPT points out.
Wow, that's a good way of testing it out.
Yeah, really. You know what I mean? Or what's stopping you from saying, I want to create a smart contract for why even learn coding anymore? If I could go to the ChatGPT and say, I want to develop an NFT smart contract for the Cardano blockchain that uses Haxel and Plutus, just to give it reference points, and it writes a smart contract for me.
It'll easily 100% be able to do that. And like the argument for coding from scratch doesn't even exist anymore because you code with containers of
right.
So it's like realistically, all you need to know is how to arrange the stuff, and it'll do it. Like there's auto coders anyways. Like, but this is wild because he put in a contract that had already been hacked to see if it would find it out,
and it did.
And it did. So some would argue that, well, it's using the internet from 2018, so obviously it could. But then again, like this is just a way to exploit things that are out there. So if you have a smart contract and you drop it into GPT,
imagine,
vulnerabilities.
Let me throw the Doodle smart contract in there right now.
I just want everybody to know that non-fungible guys do not endorse the use of ChatGPT for any malicious malicious activities. ChatGPT is a fun tool to just explore and do fun things with. It should not be used for anything serious.
Right.
We don't deal that. Anything serious. What does that mean? Very, very formal statement.
I don't know, man, because this stuff is wild. It's very like where's the other? What was the one that I shared to you today with like this is actually pretty damn cool.
Oh, that was when he shoot. What was that?
Was it the guy? It was a guy. He wanted to have the AI. He's like, I have $100. Let's turn this into a profitable business or something.
Yeah. And he was like, here you go. Here's $100, make money. And then it basically told him it gave him a whole plan. It was like, buy this domain, do this, do this, do this, do this.
Yeah.
And he just did everything it said. And it basically set up a company. It made him a logo. And it set up an affiliate marketing website, basically, where he was going to sell products, kind of like drop shipping.
Yep.
And he was like set up in, I think it was under $100.
But then it started getting investors. Like the last couple of threads I was reading, it was like they were up to like a $25,000 in investment.
And one of the domains that it suggested was like too close to one being in use, and the domain itself was like $800, or it wanted him to do.
No, it was too expensive. It was over the $100 budget.
Yeah, it was like way too expensive. So it has like issues getting places at times. Like, it's not like if it's crawling the back web to figure out this information, there's still going to be errors, right?
No, I think you did it. You're thinking of it wrong. I'm trying to think of.
Didn't it say that there was like one domain it told him to buy, but the domain was like way too expensive?
Yeah, but he went back to the AI and said, hey, that domain is $800. And it said, oh, try this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it like reconfigured. Where is it here? It said it in here, buy a domain. And then he goes, the name is clear. Oh, let's choose a domain name that's catchy and easy to remember. And then he typed in, unfortunately, that domain, I won't say it, costs $848. The AI goes, I apologize for the oversight. Let's try another domain name that should be more affordable. How about this one? And then he ended up buying that one.
Cool. Wow.
Yeah. And then he used what's the other one? Illustrator to make the thing. But he's got a whole like business model, which is another thing. Like, you could have it's so crazy. This is why people are like so afraid of AI. Like, why do you need humans to do anything? If I could run an AI to, find the flaws in a business plan or find the flaws in a business and just fix it.
Well, I think it seems like, of course, that's what's going to happen. But the problem
Yes.
is, and this is what Gary Vee says, he's like, I don't care about sharing the information because I'll tell someone exactly what to do, and 99% of the people won't do it. So like people just won't be able to realize it for what it really, really does.
Yeah, but what happens if it's autonomous? You put the AI into your system at your say your company, and just it runs it so well that, like, why am I paying people to do stuff other than like manual labor? You know what I mean?
I think
Like
that's what the future will look like. And
like
if we
your
have
boss is
companies
an
that are-
AI.
So AI plus crypto that's running itself, that's when you have DAOs,
There you
real
go.
like super DAOs that are like, that's actually probably what it does, right? That would work. That's kind
Probably.
of crazy. That's how DAOs will actually work. Smart contracts and AI.
Yeah, here we go.
Anyways, all right, we're done.
Yes. Okay. Off of AI. So I'll just hit a couple quick things within the Cardano ecosystem. Sorry. Bless is here for Angel Baby Hit Squad / Demon Hit Squad.
Blessed.
You got to go to their website. I think you connect your wallet, it verifies your holdings, and I guess eventually, or if it's already started, because I didn't actually click any kind of staking signature, but I guess it's here. Bless is here. You can start earning. Ape Society, the TAS, everyone short forms it.
Yeah.
So they're the big blue chip right now, I would say. Their floor is like 8,000 ADA or something, or 9,000. So they had a mint.
Love to see it.
They had a mint yesterday start for their whitelist. It was called Citizens of the Ape Society. So you were minting passports. They look like passports that everybody has. Apparently, so they had 24 hours, whitelist had to mint. Today was public. I think it was expensive, like 200 US bucks or something equivalent, or 150 US dollars was the equivalent. I'm not in it because it's well past my price range.
Also because you're sheepish on NFTs now.
Yep. Yes, that's very true. I'm starting to sell some
Bearish,
stuff off.
sorry. I said sheepish, which works, but it's like we shouldn't, like, no one uses that word. You're bearish, yeah.
Yep. I'm starting to unpeg my NFTs.
Okay, keep going.
So Ape Society, so Citizens of the Ape Society mint, apparently it was an exploit. I guess some point today, people realized the exploit was their rare NFTs. I guess there was two versions of the NFTs. The rare ones were numbered 1 to 500.
Whoa.
So if you were minting, so hold on, let me pull up. Someone explained it to me in one of these Discords. Okay, so the way he explained it is it's a multi-sig mint. So if you were using NAMI, you could click on the asset you were receiving before signing the mint contract, and 1 to 500 were golds. A lot of people were re-rolling with a 5-minute cooldown. So if you went to mint on NAMI and you notice, I don't have I'm not going to receive NFT 1 to 500, you would reject it, cancel the signature.
So that's in the signature process where it pops up and says, this is the asset you're going to receive. And before you type in your spending password?
I guess with NAMI, it was before you officially signed that contract, you could see which one you would be receiving. Yeah, you could see it. So people realize, people were just re-rolling and re-minting, hoping to grab a sub 500, which would get you a rare. And you know what the floor was on those? I'll tell you right now. Well, at the time, I think one Wanj from F35ers, he got one. I think he sold it for 4,100.
Whoa.
So it's like you were guaranteed, because there's only, I guess, 500 of them, right?
Yeah.
Citizens of Ape Society. So, and here's another funny thing. Let's see. Where the hell? Sorry.
Also, why would they number them like that?
I think it was an I think they just maybe didn't realize. So here's the other thing that they screwed up on that people are giving him shit for. Where's the filter button here? Golden True. The floor on those gold passports is 36.60 right now. So it's still a fair bit of money. But on their normal NFTs, they sent let me send you this link and tell me if you could see what's wrong with it.
I forgot to turn on my VPN, so JPEG store
Won't load.
doesn't look the same.
Oh,
It's in a different. I don't have.
can you
Yeah.
see the icon on the passport though?
Yeah, the assets are there. I just can't. It just does not. And I can't.
Okay,
Anyway,
I'll just say it.
I'll figure it out.
They spelled government wrong
Hold on.
on the artwork. They forgot
It's-
they forgot the N in government.
And this was not on purpose.
I don't know because I'm not in the Discord. But apparently there's SIP 60.
On the front of the passport.
Yeah, on the picture. It's some of them say Republic of whatever.
Passport Republic of Ape Society.
But some of them say government on them. It might be the golden ones actually.
Oh, interesting.
Let me see. Our boy Ken Q tweeted about it today. He's like, I don't pay much attention, but I noticed this. Let me see.
Oh my gosh, that's very. That's. I don't understand how the best ones would be just. Well, I mean, okay, no, that doesn't matter. Like, are they still doing mints where it's like the first 500? Yeah, I guess they do things like that, right? Because you just get minted something random.
It's always it's
so
usually the vending
usually
machine
are
style,
the
right?
lower numbers, so you get whatever.
Yeah, you could do 1 to 5, but I guess someone realized usually what you would do is jumble it. Like it's like put all the NFTs in a bucket and shake it up. Whatever comes out comes out.
Like, because often you look at the first indicator of rarity is often the number. Like, but like it used to be the case for sure, but it doesn't always line up like that. But I feel like back in the day, it was like if you get a little one, that's often rarity.
Yeah, back in the day, it used to be like that. But then in the last little while now, no, it's not like that at all. Like it's just it gives out random rare. I guess in the smart contract, they just put random rarities. If we have 10,000, 1,000 are ultra rare or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it just
all the more reason
random.
for the gold ones of being like 1 to 500 for that not to be the case.
I think it was a screw up, to be honest.
That's ridiculous considering how big they are.
Yeah. Did you see Ken's tweet? I shared it.
Oh, give me a sec here. Yikes. So
that, I guess, I don't know if it's a mint exploit or a mint screw up or apparently the wrong spelling isn't that big of an issue because they have SIP 68 or whatever 67.
It's really funny that how Ken's posted this where it's like English noun.
Yeah. He posted, yeah.
And it's like the way
unless they're going for the government misspelling proper.
He's like misspelling like
yeah. That's funny. Actually, Old Money's got a mint coming up very soon. They've been teasing it. If anyone's paying attention to Old Money. Okay. Ape Society, BitBoy we talked about. Chat GPT. Oh, let's get to the big dog. Yeah. I was excited for this because I'd ended up getting a ticket for the NuCast Film Festival.
Yeah.
And
how did you get wait, never mind.
They gave me NuCast had reached out to me and asked me if I wanted a ticket. I guess I mean I didn't even look.
They felt bad?
Maybe, I don't know. They had DM'd me and asked me if I wanted a tickets.
That's an inside joke. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, it's fine. It's all good. But anyways, so NuCast has their film festival going on where there was 10 entries. And I do not know the mint cost. The mint is now closed for their film festival tickets. But the ticket was your entry. Your NFT was a ticket that was your entry into the film festival to watch it on their website. And then the ticket itself was actually a vote for who you wanted to vote for out of the 10 films. And I actually don't know what the prizes are or not. Not that I wasn't paying attention.
1,000 ADA for the winner.
That's not bad. I mean, I got to assume it's not like anybody made a film for the festival. It was probably films that had already been made.
Yeah, like they wouldn't be like the lead up time to like looking for submissions. It was like it all happened.
It was a week or something.
3 weeks or something.
Yeah.
When normally it's like you have months to. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So here, let me look at the ticket infos. There's 3,000 tickets. The price was $38 for a ticket. Grants access to stream the top 10 finalist films. Each ticket held gives one on-chain vote. So that's a big thing too, because it was an on-chain vote. Cool. And get the chance to be featured and become a part of NuCast Originals. Then you got voting, NuCast Originals, which actually, if you paid they're minting. Where is it here? Sorry, I'm all over the place again. Charlie Chaplin.
Really?
The Prestige collection arrives on Cardano soon with Modern Times.
What are they going to do? Sorry.
Own and watch film history with this masterpiece. March 21st at 6 p.m. UTC. There's going to be 500 of the collection. Mint price will be 45 ADA, and then there's discounts if you hold other collections of it. But I guess it's, I don't know if it's a Modern Times, deep dive into Charlie Chaplin's Modern Times, a cinematic masterpiece that remains impactful even today.
That's cool.
So, yeah. But anyways, so I ended up today, I got to watch, I think I watched all 10 today of their films. And I really liked the one I told you to watch. Which one was that, Devon?
Which one was that?
That's what I just asked you. I said, watch this one.
You told me to watch.
It was WADA. Yeah.
Chasing the WADA Dream.
Chasing. Yes, that's what it was.
That was amazing.
I loved it. It was the longest film. It came in at 29 minutes.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was really, really good, man. Like super. It's like the perfect entry to the festival.
Yeah. You know what? That's exactly what I was thinking when I was watching. I was like, this sums up exactly what it's Cardano based. It's about building. It's about community. It's about everything that is Cardano, and it's about building in Africa.
Yeah, and they had that. Like, there's no way this video was already in existence, and it's just like this. It being included is so good. I guess, and the funny thing is, I was thinking to myself, I was like, I want to show this video to people, because if you listen to the podcast, we're always talking about Cardano and what it's going to do to build up the financial infrastructure in different countries in Africa. We're always talking about that, and like there's a direct example of the fund going to support that.
Okay, and so what do you think NuCast is going to do after this?
I don't know, but like I want to be able to show that video to people. But
listen, I 100% shared my ticket with someone to watch it, because I was like, you have to, because I'm onboarding them well, they're already onboarded. I think I sent to Bo, and I was like, listen, you got to watch this movie. Like, if you've got 30 minutes free, check out this movie, because it's like so I don't know. I actually loved it. But then there was another one. Let me pull it up. What'd you think of Wrath?
I like the concept. I really do. Yeah, it was good. I like the concept. I think that my producer brain had some small issues with it. Yeah, but
which is fair. You don't have to agree with.
Yeah, to me, unfortunately, as I look at it, it feels a little bit too indie for me.
Yeah,
and it feels a little bit too indie and a little bit unoriginal. So it wouldn't be my choice, to be honest. Just because, and not to say it's a poor short film. It's just not original enough, and there's some lighting choices that left me a little bit upset.
Yeah,
but yeah. So that's my.
What do you think? Okay, so you got a ticket.
Yeah.
And then, what did you think of the process? So you got the ticket.
I'm glad you're bringing this up.
Yeah. Well, what did you think of all that?
I didn't like it. They need you to just verify once, and then, like, I guess maybe having to sign for everyone was a bit right. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, you had to sign to access each film.
I kind of thought that I would sign once. I kind of thought I'd be connected, NFT verified, and I can watch. Having to sign for each one was a bit annoying, but then I was like, I get it, because they're all different entries on the block. Actually, are they even doing that?
You know what? Once we have them on, we've been working back and forth. We're trying a few times now. They can help explain it, because I know this is really right in your wheelhouse. This is filmmaking, technology. This is everything. I didn't mind it because you connected your wallet to the website, but then you just have to sign, because once your wallet's connected, I guess every time you wanted to watch one of the 10 films, you had to sign. You weren't sending ADA or anything.
No.
You just have to sign. And basically that was allowing access for the wallet to show your ticket, which I understood.
Because I guess it does matter, because every video is different, right? Not everyone's going to watch.
Well, it's every time you click, it's something different, right? So it's like, if I was to just connect my wallet, and then I'm connected, but then I send the NFT out.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, okay.
What happens if I sent it to you? But now I'm connected, so I can continue watch. So
Yeah, and then
it's kind
also
of
you can probably track views.
right.
Yeah.
So I liked it. I wasn't okay, but Paps had a ticket, and he ended up he forgot his ledger at home. I forgot
Oh,
he uses ledgers. So
yeah,
like
yeah,
he
yeah.
connected on his website, but then didn't realize once he got to where he was going that he had
It's
to
a
like verify every time, which was a minor inconvenience. But I guess I haven't talked to him since. But out of the 10 films, I made it through almost.
What's the other one? Closed-minded or
I
something?
am closed-minded, but it was like clothing,
Yeah,
like not
yeah, yeah, yeah,
close,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
COLSE.
That one
I
was
really
pretty
liked it, and it
fire.
was like, yeah, I loved it, and I
Yeah, it
was
was
like, wow,
so
this
good.
is really good, and it was all of, I think 4 minutes. Not
Yeah,
even. I don't even. I think it was less than 4 minutes. Let me pull
yeah,
it up.
it
It
was
was.
solid.
Sorry, I hear the sound in my ear as a. It was 2 minutes and 53 seconds.
Yeah,
Like to
that's
me,
good.
that I was like, that nailed it out of the park for less than 3 minutes. I could not make it through, or I found myself not paying attention to The Last Christians, and the other one was Metanonia.
So I started that one, and that one's
Yeah,
about 18 minutes long, I think.
yeah,
And I was like, the concept of this makes me want to watch this, but so I want to watch that for story, not for what I'll say is pacing, like the editing of it, and even like the art design, like how good it looked to me wasn't super high. But the story, the concept of it, I was like, this sounds cool. So I kind of wanted to see what they do with it.
yeah.
So I think I might actually like still finish that one off. But
So there's a live leaderboard on the website. I just
oh,
clicked on
really?
vote. Yeah,
I did not know that.
number one, Chasing the
Oh,
Water Dream.
oh yeah.
Number
Okay.
two, Wrath. Number
Where
three,
do I check this leaderboard?
number three is I Am Closed Minded.
Oh
So
snap!
all three that we liked.
That's
Um,
cool.
there was one I actually really did like too, Residual Alibi, and it was just like a guy with a tree stump, and he was riding his bike, and stuff happens, and you're like, why is he just riding his bike? Riding his bike, and you're like,
That
the
one
hell is
has
going?
like so many like different awards. It's been like that one's has done well other places.
Yes, which now that you say that, I do notice that.
Yeah.
To me, the acting wasn't that great, but I mean, I
Oh.
kind of expect stuff like that for small short films or
Yeah,
independent
yeah, yeah.
films. Um, but I like that film too. I mean, Tim was a good one. All these films were actually good. I just couldn't. Um, the longer ones, I didn't like. Like I said,
Yeah.
Last Christians, and even I decided to fight with my
That's
wife
fun.
over salmon. I was like, "What is this?" The other one that was amazing, I should have probably thrown a vote there, was inspired by book.io.
Oh yeah, this looks cool.
Watch it. It's like, honestly, it's 4 minutes, 3 minutes or something.
I can watch that. I'll get
Yeah,
to
that
it.
one's easy enough to watch. But I thought it was really well done. All week I was, because they'd opened up for the viewing like last week, and I was on vacation, and I
Yeah.
couldn't do it on mobile because I'm an iPhone. Thanks,
Mm.
Apple. um, but it's really well done. I didn't know what to expect, and I'm really impressed with it. And to think of this as how film festivals could go now,
Yeah.
like imagine TIFF is selling NFT tickets, but I could also participate in the premiere, or the NFT is worth something that comes with like physical merch or something, like a movie
Yeah.
poster
Yep.
digitally and real life. Or
Yeah, because there's things you get from going to those screenings, but then you know what's also good? It's like this is like a much of like the voting, like I don't know, just the putting something out there for this, like you had to know about this, like you had to really be in the community to like know like
yeah,
this existed. So it's like it's just bringing together like two niches in a very very like concentrated way, like
I'll say
film
this:
lovers
it
that
was
are
my first film festival I've ever been a part of,
oh
and it was
yeah, yeah,
awesome.
it's different. It's like quote unquote tiny, but it's really cool. Like and
Yeah,
like to see that we like Residual Alibi, like to see that that has been in all these like what does it look like 8 other film festivals,
yeah, or
like
8 awards at one, whether it's the same.
yeah. So it means that we're getting on the first go. They've gotten ones that have made it places, you know.
Well, imagine this now coming down the road. You are a filmmaker yourself.
Yeah.
part of a team that makes films. I don't know how you put it for yourself, but
I'm a
like
producer.
we go into the metaverse.
Yeah.
I have an NFT ticket and I can walk around an area and watch all these films, whether it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you can actually now take it and do it digitally in a real, like this is just a small time little on a website, but imagine you can put an Oculus on and walk around and
Yeah.
instead of like, how would you want it if you're in a theater? I got my Oculus on, I'm sitting in my home on my couch and I walk into a theater and I go and sit in a seat in the theater. Do I want to have, I'll pose the question to you. I'm debating on what I want. Be in the seat and be able to look around and see all the avatars around me in a theater setting, or do I want to sit down and the screen becomes the Oculus? Like watching the movie, sitting in a seat, the movie screen's a little bit away, or do I want to sit down in a seat? I guess the option will be there, but either way, now the Oculus is my movie screen.
I want it like you walk into the theater and there's like a room and there's posters on the wall.
Yeah.
And you like see, you're like, oh, over there, I want to watch I Am Closed-Minded. And as you walk towards it, like the sound, the trailer Closed-Minded gets louder as you get closer. And then as you're looking at it, it's like, do you want to watch this? And it's like, yeah. And then you just sit down and then the screen takes over.
Yeah. And then I guess when you want to mingle, you could see like the theater style.
Well,
seating.
yeah, I guess if you and I went in there at the same time, you could be in there at the same time and we would just have like what they have here, a watch party.
Right.
Yeah. And then like we could chat while we're watching it.
But that's where we're heading. And like the NFT, and then you walk up to a little kiosk and like put your on-chain vote right on a kiosk.
Yeah.
In the metaverse.
Or
whatever.
Like physical kiosk there that like,
Like imagine what this film festival could be in iteration 2
in a metaverse. Yeah.
Pavia opens up this year. What's this film festival going to look like next year?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm happy. Yeah, I really am. I'm
excited. It's nerve-wracking because you look at like I said, you look at AI. And it's like, oh, AI 777 just entered this film. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like there's no one involved in it except it's all digitally made. But I mean,
I think
I love it. I love technology. This shit just makes my mind start.
And I also think that as long as you like declare that you've used an AI, that people are going to be okay with it. They'll just put it in that kind of a category. But like, if you're kind of passing it off to be like, I wrote this myself, but an AI spat it out, I think that's when you're going to end up.
I have friends we have friends that would pass it off like they didn't do it.
Yeah, that's true.
I could think of at least 2 of them that would just use it and be like, no, this is all my original idea.
That's hilarious.
I made this.
Do you want to talk about this? This seems to be like pretty huge news, right? Like in my mind. Is that a thing?
Nah, it's
okay. No, it's okay. No, leave it.
I'll leave that for another next episode.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I think ending it off on the NuCast Film Festival. I mean, 10 out of 10 in my eyes.
Yeah.
It would be chaotic if you had more. 10 was a good. Like it's 2.5 hours, I think, for all of those films.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'd never sat down and thought I'm going to watch independent. But like it made me want to do it because
that's so cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I actually did. I'm not I'm a film. I love watching movies, but I'm not a film buff. I'm not like I can't quote producers of movies. I can't kind of like why I'm a fan of Bill Murray. I don't know the guy's birthday. Like I love watching movies, but I have a shitty taste in music and movies. I know that about myself. Like I'm not a film buff. I'm not looking at lighting and that score on that movie. Like stuff like that. That's not me. I'm not a.
And it's funny because like you can see like the more that we talk, like you could see the freaking evolution of me doing that.
Yes, definitely.
And I'm like, oh geez, and I'm like, holy crap! Like I've always told myself I'm still gonna love. Like, okay, for example, and this is a joke with some of the other people because I was talking to a director and I was like, he's like, what movie are you gonna watch? And I'm like, Black Adam. And he was like, what? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, I can't wait.
Yeah.
And it's like, he was like, how was it? And I was like, it was great. I don't know.
Dude, the Super Mario Brothers movie's coming out. Actually, I think you can get tickets now. Like, there's so many dumb movies that I love going to. I told myself, there's like cinema, like, and like, no, there's no way. I don't think so.
I'm still gonna watch Black Adam as we
No,
go.
you won't. You'll go there and you'll walk out of the movie and everyone will be like, that was good. You're like, I hated that movie.
That is
The way they chose to film this scene is unbelievable. I would have shot from a low angle. They went with a
honestly,
high.
Unfortunately, you might be right. You might.
I think
It'll
so.
probably change it for me.
You're in behind the scenes now. You're behind the green curtain, and you're like, now I know how it's done.
I'm trying to whatever. I still
nope. There's no way.
Black Adam.
There's no way, man. That was a bad movie, but I enjoyed it.
Right?
Yep.
That's what I'm gonna try to do.
No, you know what? Let's do a little movie deep dive right now. There's 3 or 4 good movies. I did the Avatar, it's a small world at Disney World. You know how they have that small world, it's a little boat that goes. They have that version, but you're going through Avatar's world, Pandora. Dude, the one they have an avatar where she's like a yogi or whatever, like that. That thing looks so real. It scared the shit out of my kids. It looks so real. I was like, that is crazy. And dude, we went at night, or we just happened to go into Pandora at night.
Yeah.
They got glow paint on the ground, like everything, in the movie, everything glows. The whole area was glowing.
Did it look awesome?
I'm going to get someone my friend, our friend, she took a picture of her kid.
Yeah.
But because the flash went off, because it was dark, the whole ground lit up. So it looks so freaking, it doesn't even look real.
I'm down. I'd love to see that.
Oh, Shazam is out.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Ant-Man yet. Cocaine Bear.
You want to go see Ant-Man with me and a bunch of my friends?
I would go see it with you, but not with a bunch of, I'm not making a party out of it. So who does that?
I do want to see that.
Creed 3's out. There's some okay, I don't know, man. I'm a sucker for these blockbuster movies, I guess you would say.
Yeah, and I still will be too.
Yep. So I think that's it, man. I gave my shout outs. I guess I didn't talk about this, but I played my chive. You want me to save it?
Yeah, save it. That's a legit.
My chive update. Okay.
Yeah, save the
actually, if you're at South by Southwest, the Chive, Project Venkman, they've got a bunch of events, or they had an event today where a buddy of mine got to meet William Shatner. I don't know if they have other ones, like they were in their HQs. I don't know if they have another one planned, because I don't know how long South by Southwest is. Is it a week and a half or something? But anyways, if you're there, there's a bunch of crypto and NFT stuff going on, so check it all out. Come join us in the shack. Other than that, I guess my sign keep calm and chive on. I'll give you that one, buddy.
Okay. Nice.
All right.
NFGs, we out.
What you said that so we're redoing that right now.
I barely have a voice.
I don't care.
What?
Devon, you're my friend. You always have a voice in this relationship.
Oh, shut up. Okay, let's go.
All right, NFGs.
We out.
Great.
Steve, you always have a voice. That's hilarious.